And welcome back for second week, our senior class, ladies and gentlemen. I have personally missed you, and today is kind of also special, though. So you're joined here by me. My name is Proof. On the other side, we got Miles David on the hot seat, and it's Valentine's Day, baby. If you guys did not notice in Runeterra Academy, the logo, or if you go on Discord, it's the shape of a heart. That's what we're celebrating today. For the gamers out there who
For the
have,
gamers out there.
yeah, for the
Instead of going
gamers out.
on dates for dinner, you're watching League of Legends. That's the kind of dedication I love to see.
Exactly, man. Would you rather be getting some skins, rerolls, or you want to be on a Valentine's Day right now? Or even better yet, would you rather be watching Runeterra Academy on a special day like this rather than being on a day? I mean, come on, like that beats any date that you're gonna have. More interesting than anything you're gonna see, and it is senior class, so we got some
Yeah.
bangers coming up.
Oh yeah,
OMT versus
definitely.
Akuma Blades.
Yep. Kuma Blades, of course, I believe they were the winners before Runeterra Academy started. They were the winners of one of the pre-tournament semesters that we had. So Kuma Blades definitely a formidable force. I know X Fluke, one of the best mid laners in the league right now. So
Mhm.
gotta be looking out for the plays that he can make. And I'm just wondering whether we'll see some more support in the top lane, whether we'll see some. I'm gonna call it position 5 from now on, just because of how similar it is to.
No, yeah, I mean, is that's
Yeah,
your
we'll
pick,
see if
right?
we can see. We'll see if we see more. So we'll see more picks like that, or if we'll just
Mhm.
get banned away.
Yeah, no, last week was kind of
There
a
no
lot of
probably
ups and
work.
downs for OMTK, especially. You know, they lost to a Janna top and a Bard, right? That was the whole shenanigans going on with MGM last week. But this time around,
Yeah,
things could look a lot different for them as maybe
it
they're
could
more prepared.
definitely.
They got a game off of MGM, so that's a huge thing for them. And both of these teams, they're not like, I would say, I would nicely put it this way. Currently, they're not like the ones to be the top dogs, but they're in the middle of the pack. So meaning they could get games away from anybody now leading in the group or would
Mm,
be leading in the group. So, I mean, or themselves, they could get to that spot, like, or be 1-1, right? So, because for OMTK, best case scenario, if they win today against Akuma, they're looking at a 1-1.
yeah, I mean
So,
it's still early in the league. People
yeah.
teams are experimenting. They're trying to get things together. People possibly not taking things too seriously yet when the stakes aren't high, but
Mhm.
that's probably one of the fun parts of the league, right? When everyone's trying to uh more or less experiment and see what's good for their team, what's not good for their team. Because League of Legends all about being able to one play the meta, two
Mhm.
being able to make it cater to your style of play. So we'll see if OMT can rise out of the ashes from last week because it was they got rolled a bit.
Yeah, we got now the draft starting though, Miles. We got the Gwen ban already targeting Akuma Blade. It could be jungler or top. And on the other side, the response is a Xin Zhao. Pretty standard ban if you don't want to deal with the wind becomes lighting and getting jumped in the early game, especially if you're a mid laner.
Yeah, I'm there. All right, sorry about that. I just had to reconnect.
Yeah, it's okay. We're already getting some tech issues. Like last week, we had that break where somebody disconnected. But here, Miles, if you're taking a look at the bans, that's two jungle bans from Akuma. They are targeting OMTK's jungle.
Yeah, I mean jungle's if you're if the foundation is weak, then the rest of the team could collapse around them. So we'll see how it will go this time. Kind of expected jungle bench right now. Xin Zhao still pretty strong. Viego, because of Xin Zhao Van, we probably one of the
Wookie,
new champions on the block.
is it just me that Miles is coming and going? Okay, so sorry about that, guys. For those of you who are out there, um, Miles David is coming and going. So in the meantime, I guess we'll just dissect this a little bit further to see what the teams are trying to do here. Akuma first picking the Caitlyn, seeing the Zeri getting picked on the other side. And this is going to be a Zeri debut here, ladies and gentlemen. Week 2, senior class. Let's get it going. I think this is very interesting. In high elo, however, the nerfs are going to come down. The ban hammer, the nerf hammer, whatever you want to call it, is going to come down on this champion. But what a lot of people are also noticing that Zeri is not the best against people who know how to avoid skill shots, because you're relying on landing those skill shots. So if you're able to get away and you have a good movement on your champion, if you're mobile, you are able to dodge out the Zeri skill shots, which could be problematic for OMTK. They do not land all those back-to-back. And now Kane and Renekton. This is Renekton. We saw, I don't know if it's LCK or LPL. Miles David can refresh my memory. But everywhere else, everybody's talking about Corki, Victor. But there is a region out there that's first picking Renekton and prioritizing Renekton a lot because it's really good.
It's definitely LPL. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but...
It's LPL, yep.
Yeah,
I think it's LPL. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Renekton is just such a... I mean, for a lot of people, he's not their... He's, one of the best top laners when it comes to just winning lane and just being able to do stuff in the mid game. A lot. That's why he's favored a lot. That point and click stun is really useful when it comes to just all these skirmishes that tend to break out before dragon fights.
Yeah, a lot of the skirmishes we might see. And, with the Gragas here, this could be a top lane Gragas because Lee Sin is already locked and loaded. And at the top lane into this Renekton, how's that going to fare out?
Gragas into... Oh, I definitely would favor Gragas going into Renekton. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out some tech issues I have. But yeah, definitely would favor the Gragas into Renekton. Eventually, Renekton won't be able to do much against Gragas. And Gragas, one of the best playmaking champions in League of Legends currently. Especially with his ultimate, and you can be very creative with the way you use the barrels.
Yeah, I have seen Gragas top lane into Gwen. I'm not sure if it was last week, but I for sure have seen Akuma play Gragas top lane. Legoat James loves playing this champion, and it's one of his ace champions. For OMTK, though, the mid and jungle matchup is what led them to get a victory from MGM last week. So I wonder if they're going to actually index that today and maybe come up with a good duo. The Ahri ban is targeted towards that mid lane. Fairy was playing that quite well with Jarvan last week, so now their Wombo combo is not there, so that jungle mid lane synergy might be off a little bit, unless they come up with something better.
I'm sure they probably can. These guys are some of the best players in the NA server right now, so I'm sure they can probably come up with something. There are lots of other assassins getting fit too. You can go for a LeBlanc if you really want to go for that skirmish heavy early game with Kayn and being able to support him when he goes for those invades in the jungle. It's going to be Thresh Caitlyn. So this is going to be a very, very hard lane to lane against if you're on the side of OMT. We'll see how well Indigo can face off against it. Along with his partner there in the bot lane, Toy. Last time we saw how well Indigo can play. A lot of the in the second game, especially of Akuma, of OMT versus MGM. It was.
Oh, we lost him again there a little bit.
Ooh, am I back? All right. Sorry about that, guys. We'll fix the tech issues after. There's one solution for this. We'll fix it after this draft. But yeah, Veigar being picked up. Now I've heard from quite a few people in the scene that Veigar is starting to rise in popularity in scrims. So not surprising this pick. He is extremely useful when it comes to skirmishing, Roof, just because of his event horizon.
Yeah, no, his event horizon, you could really have a lot of utility in CS. And on top of that, if you do catch out anybody on the other side, for example, this Caitlyn, that is going to be problematic. If she gets stunned up, then you got so much follow-up on your side with the Maokai. Nature's Grabs comes up. Renekton's ulti makes him very much able to dive the back line and put a lot of damage onto the carries. But what I like about Akuma is they're drafting a very mobile mid laner, meaning against a Veigar, this could be problematic because Veigar kind of fails against assassins a lot, like a Zed, like the Echo, especially during laning phase. They're not going to have the best time.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you there. We'll see how well OMT will be able to survive this early game with that Veigar. But, it's a ticking time bomb, right? Once Veigar manages to get all those stacks onto his AP, he's just going to start blowing people up. Maybe not Gragas, but everyone else is going to be vulnerable.
Yeah, the Gragas is also that playmaker on their team. Tanky Legoat James, who I have personally seen him play this champion before, and I think into the Renekton, he might have a favorable matchup, like we said. So, you know, intrinsically and consequently, Akuma might want to flex this Lee Sin and shadow this Legoat James a couple of times in the early game to make sure that he's scaling smoothly and he's getting his resources so that then he's able to roam elsewhere on the map and make changes happen.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Where the priority of Akuma will go. Usually, if you have a Caitlyn, priority immediately goes there. But they could decide to just make sure Giga has a very hard time in the top lane as well.
How would that look like for a Caitlyn and Thresh against the Zeri and Maokai here? Wouldn't they be pushed under their turret a little bit?
Proof, why don't you just take over for a bit?
All right, I'll just take over, Miles.
You just take over a bit. We're having a bit of a hard time here, but you can take over for a bit.
For the audience who are just wondering what the heck is happening, I think Miles Davis having a seizure on the mic. The mic is having a seizure, not him. But yeah, unfortunately for that, it's gonna get sorted out. But in the meantime, though, if this sort of thing did happen, I was always wondering what am I gonna talk to chat about usually, and I was reading the other day about Sona and how Sona cannot talk and her lore and stuff, but I'm gonna avoid doing that for now because this is just a draft and there's a lot more important stuff happening in the draft. I don't know if you guys do see it on your screens, but everything is picked and locked and loaded, so we're just waiting for them to load up to the spectator, and then we're gonna be good to go. Now predictions are also gonna be happening, and this is my favorite part, and this is where I would ask Miles David where he would be putting his prediction points. But before getting into that, I think this game is definitely going to be close. The series in itself is going to be close because we're talking about two teams who are capable of doing a lot on the map. They do have their trademark styles. For Akuma, it could be playing through the jungle, playing through Legoat James, and now the AKM keyboarder with the duo of Ratchet playing Thresh. They're able to create a lot of room for their carries and the VIPs in the game, especially Thresh does a great job at peeling. So that's the name of the game for Akuma. They're going to be able to peel their carries, their VIPs through Thresh. And that's the most important thing when you consider late game, right? When you got so much on the other side, especially Renekton was able to dive your carries, Thresh is going to come up so clutch. And this is where Toy comes in. They could have easily drafted a Blitzcrank, for example, here in the bot lane and pursued Caitlyn and pressured Caitlyn to be more careful. But Maokai does like AoE CC. So like in team fights, it's definitely going to look one-sided if Toy is able to land multiple CC on multiple members on their side. And I think team fights are going to look extremely sensational from both sides. They have to be sophisticated. They have to be calculated because you also have to be mindful of the abilities are available for both sides. For Veigar, it's the event horizon, like Miles David pointed out. It's going to be, okay, who's going to get the CC on? Who's going to get the first blood? Who's going to get snowballing? Here for LeBlanc, it's going to be easier to play into the Veigar, but Veigar has that late skill, has that late game assurance for OMT. It's something that they needed last week against AMGM because they played phenomenal the second game when it came around. I think it was a bar top. Yeah, it was a bar top into a Cho'Gath. Giga was playing Cho'Gath instead of Renekton, but the same idea goes that they did great into the mid game. Early game was good, but they weren't able to close out the game and they ended up losing it. Or no, they won the second game, right, Miles? If you can correct me, if you hear me.
It was a 2-0. They lost.
It was a 2-0. Okay, yeah. So it was very close. It felt like they were almost going to win it, but they just absolutely were kind of devastated because they couldn't close it out. So hopefully this time around, drafting the Veigar will help them close out the game better. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to say happy Valentine's Day and thank you for those who tuned in. I know there's probably a ton of things that you could do today. And for those who, you know, don't got a girl to make you smile, don't worry. Be happy. If you don't have a partner, don't worry. It's all right. It's all good. We're here, and this is really a banger of a series, something to not miss out, and a lot to learn for both teams as we head into the second week and the third week and in the future to see what these teams are capable of doing. And with that said, I'm going to toss it over to a break. We'll be right back, and hopefully Miles David will be on the mic this time. See you guys in a bit. And welcome back finally after a long break. We almost lost you guys there, but we are back and things are now in action. We got Miles David on the line right now, so we could get into talking a little bit about what we're going to expect straight up without looking at the standard start. I don't think anything is going to happen, so we could just get right into it. Let's go lane by lane, right? Because we already covered Legoat James and the matchup between Legoat James and Giga, Renekton versus this Gragas. But let's go from now jungle, mid, bot, and supports as well. Why not?
Yeah, of course. Now, excuse me. Of course, looking at the jungle matchup right now, it's Kayn versus Lee Sin, right? A ganking jungler versus a more farming-oriented jungler that wants to skirmish in the early game with the help of the mid laner. So the point will be, we're back to another pause. I guess this gives us time to talk about to talk about it a bit. But yeah, we have a ganking jungler in the Lee Sin who wants to be making plays along with X-Fluke on the LeBlanc. If they're able to, you know how the mid and jungle, they're just super connected together. So we'll have to see how Sleepyhead and Flower are able to counter what Hex and X-Fluke are going to do, because the onus is on Hex and X-Fluke to start making plays around the map, because they're the ones on the timer. Flyer will just eventually scale up into an extremely strong Veigar that can one-shot everyone. So they have to be able to play around that, make sure that Flyer can't get to that state, or if they can break down the bot lane by, I'm assuming they're going to break down bot lane by trying to help Keyboarder push in and just dive down there. Make sure that Zeri and that Maokai can't do anything.
Yeah, that's Zeri and Maokai making sure that they're kind of out of the game, essentially. We've seen how Caitlyn looks like when she's not a champion. I have not seen how Zeri looks like yet when she has no resources or is very behind, because a lot of the times, actually, never mind. What am I saying? In LEC, we saw that, right? We talked a little bit about that last week with you, Miles David, when there was a debut of Zeri. She got quadra killed from a Victor on the other side. So it wasn't a good showing, but everywhere else seems to be working a little bit now. I guess it's picking up in LCK. People are seeing some results with it. But when you are Caitlyn, for example, you need everything going in your way, at least for the first couple of minutes. And if you're getting neglected, if you're getting killed a lot, then it's going to be hard for you to come back in the game. I don't know if that's true for Indigo.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Caitlyn, right? The early game has to go well. Some champions have a power spike. Caitlyn has a power pit in the mid game. She needs to get ahead as much as possible before Zeri gets online. Otherwise, she won't be able to do enough damage, and Indigo will just run circles around her.
And they're already doing they're chatting in all chat right now.
Yeah,
and I don't know if production wants
Yeah,
no, they're talking. Veigar is already like, I'm ready to get abused in this lane. That's kind of that's what's gonna happen.
Guys, play safe.
Play safe, don't die.
Play safe.
and I don't know who said. Somebody said cringe exhaust. I think that was LeBlanc.
Yeah, that was definitely Fluke would say that.
He said cringe exhaust for Veigar. I mean, this Veigar just wants to live, man. Just let him live. He's a peacock. You gotta let him fly. What movie is that from, guys? What movie is that from? If you say it in chat, I'll personally donate my channel prediction points to you. If you know what movie that is from. I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly. But anyway, Flyer here is on the Veigar. You're running the domination, not the Predator Veigar build or Rune, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's just allow him to survive this early game a lot. Allow him to fight LeBlanc just a bit better, you know. Probably Flower will be able to lane a bit better. Will be able to go with Sleepyhead when it comes to those early game skirmishes where Veigar can be very useful, and that extra damage can help.
Yeah, I mean. Okay, yeah. For people who are wondering what we might do, I think. Oh wait, they did reconnect, so let's give it a second. Let's give it a second if we're gonna unpause here, or actually we'll go to a break. It's just take 10 seconds. We'll be right back, guys, with this fun game. Hopefully, we won't get another unpause, but we'll be right back. Don't worry, be happy, Miles. That's the theme of the day, at least for me.
I like that.
And yeah,
like
we're just rolling with the punches, man, today, and that's what's happening. We're back with the game, and let's talk a little about the win cons and the earlier, I guess, objective that we're talking about. Lane matchup, Lee Sin pathing against this Kayn, how that's gonna pan out, and what are we gonna expect from Akuma? What are they gonna try to do to win through this bot lane and maybe even win early against this Veigar through their
well, that's what we said. They need to win through bot lane. Keyboarder is gonna be absolutely essential. He needs to get ahead over in this lane, especially he has definitely have the better lane matchup here with Indigo and Toy not really having that big of when it comes to, oh no, they're just going for
Ignite burned already. Toy, the auto attacks are coming in, dropping that Ignite will not get them the kill for Akuma. In the meantime, though, they sent a message.
They definitely sent a message there. Toy and Indigo have to play a lot more carefully when fighting in this Caitlyn lane. They can be threatened by an all-in very easily, and they're so easily harassed, as I said, due to the short-range nature. So if he is going to go in, he needs to have full health. Meanwhile, here in the mid lane, gank already.
Oh, there it is, Event Horizon for this Veigar. Flash burned already. The Sonic Wave does connect. The exhaust comes out, but first blood secured by Fluke.
Oh, no.
And here comes Sleeping up for the trade, but Hex Miss looking good for the trades. They're going to slap his wrist to go back into his jungle.
Yep, that was just really well played by Xmas and X-Fluke. I said that they were going to start ganking early, and that's what they did. Flyer, he had that exhaust for a reason, unfortunately. Didn't quite work out. Oh, no, we have more fights.
They're tunnel visioning on Toy. They want the kill, but Toy goes in. The retaliation ratchet order as well now under a lot of fire. Indigo 1v1 so far, and the Zeri finding a lot of damage onto the Caitlyn. In the meantime, though, we got a roam from Hex Mist. He's gonna look for the Sonic Wave, does find it and gets the kill. Hex Mist looking on fire.
Definitely, this is Lee Sin that's on point right now, able to get that trade back. And really, what a play by Toy, actually deciding to go all in on that and managing to make it out by the skin of his teeth. My compliments to him. I thought he was absolutely dead in that situation, but actually managed to make it through. There was no heal even from Indigo. They had already used it. There's no exhaust to also lay down the damage, and Indigo, he's trying to go in.
That was like an Eminem song right there, Miles. You got one shot, one opportunity, do not miss the blow, and right there, the Sonic Wave landed. Got him the kill. Hex Mist is looking, I mean, already 100% kill participation. What do you want? What more do you want from your Lee Sin?
Yeah, he has not missed a kill on a champion yet. Truly the American sniper. It's not Caitlyn anymore. It's the Lee Sin.
Yeah, it's looking dangerous right now, and there's not a lot of CS difference in the bot lane. We did see, however, that Ratchet got super aggro in the bot lane, and that ended up kind of like backfiring on him real quick.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't have his Ignite to finish off the job, so I think they probably thought they are capable of doing it, but it was just that little bit of health the Toy had left that allowed them to get away. So it was a heads-up play by Toy, actually managing to make it really good from him. Just so far the outplay of the game.
Yeah, so far the outplay of the game 2v2. We thought this lane was gonna look a lot different. And how did that land? Hello? Question mark. Indigo was like, what the heck just happened, bro?
That's a spectator bug, right?
I don't know. Right? It has to be. That Q traveled through time, traveled through everything there to get that land on Indigo, and now the cooldown is not gonna allow Thresh throw out yet another death sentence. Luckily for Indigo, they'll get a quick back.
Yep, they will, but this will allow Keyboard to push in the lane and possibly smash the wave against the tower, leaving Indigo with a lot less resources. So that's still a really good play coming from the bot lane. Meanwhile, Hexmith more time here, and Sleepyhead's here too. Wait, Hexmith.
Sleepyhead is here for the Noble knockup. X Mist is taken very low. That's a Sonic Wave, goes back for some more. Are you kidding me? But Flyer puts a stop to that. He says, Hex Mist, you've been doing too much, man. You gotta chill out a little bit.
Definitely has to chill out. But I think Flyer will be happy by getting that shutdown onto himself. So that's a lot of gold going into the Veigar's way. Still, Hexmas, he's an absolute monster, absolute beast, absolute crazy person trying to go in on that.
Yeah, that's beast mode right there for Hex Mist. And I don't know if Hex Mist is the same person as NA Stallion. It could be different players for Akuma, as they might be rotating their junglers. That's kind of something for me to find out throughout the series. Maybe we'll double check with production and
We can check the book. We can check
yeah,
the
we can
book.
check the book later on.
Luckily,
So
Red
far,
provides us all the good data. So
yeah, we got a lot of data on our hand. And, you know, so far, let's talk a little bit about relationships since it's the day, right? Let's talk about the mid-jungle duo. Since it is a relationship, you got to always put in the effort, right? If you're a jungler and you're not really helping out your mid lane, then I don't think the mid lane is going to be too happy about it.
Oh, wait. Who got it?
Oh,
it was Sleepyhead who got it.
Secured by... No, it's Hex Mix. Hex Mix got... Yeah, it's a red...
Oh!
Yeah. Toy now gets engaged on those in a lot of trouble, and the Descendants will connect. The kill is secured by Hexmist, the second, rather third kill in the game so far. 2-4 start, and Akuma are looking good.
Yeah, that was a very clean insect from Hexmith right there to secure the support. Toy going down right there means that there's not really anyone that can contest this dragon. Unless Veigar has anything to say about it. Maybe he can get a lucky Q off and steal it from Hexmist. That would be very frustrating to see. But instead of the Dragon Pit, we're looking at the top lane for some reason. Thank you, client. As the skirmish is happening right now, Ratchet wants to go for a play.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a good spot for them to fight this one, but Faluk is around the corner.
Go for something.
Oh, there it is. Lee Sin secures the Drake. That's the first one. Hexgate in the pockets. Now for Akuma, as they're disengaging from the bot side river.
That was a very risky play from Akuma, I just have to say, because Lee Sin was very low. And if you don't have your jungler there, Veigar can easily secure the dragon. Instead of few Ratchet, though, just going in.
Again, aggressive. Ratchet is coming out. This series, guns blazing, does connect the Descendants double Q, but this is exactly what happened last time. They backfired on him real quick, and Hex misses around the corner. Does land the Sonic Wave. He is here for the redemption, for the save. Keyboarder fat fingered that. It looked like that. I don't know what's going on. They really want that kill onto Toy, and Toy is just dancing in front of them, all happy.
He flashed in to try to get the net on the Toy so he can get the Caitlyn passive off. Unfortunately, he missed the net, so just unfortunate. Wasn't able to get that kill, and Ratchet, the absolute madman, just goes in again. To be fair, those coin flip plays, I like support players who do that because they're the ones who pull the trigger. They're the ones who win the game-winning fight when it comes to the late game. So Ratchet, I hope it doesn't discourage him from making plays like that because it is good theoretically, even if it doesn't work out.
No, but here's the thing, Miles. If he wanted to do that, why not just draft Leona? Question mark. Right? Because VIP
he's
protection.
A Chad Thresh, man. He's a Chad Thresh.
That's all right. Never mind. I walked right into that one. My bad. But yeah, I could see it. I could see Ratchet making a lot of plays, but with Thresh, I feel like the responsibility comes from protecting your VIPs, and I feel like he's just is not in that stage yet, right? Where it's late game, and you know you absolutely have to watch out. So I guess he's having fun in lane, and we could see it.
I feel like Thresh is just like his, as he said, Bard may be his own genre of support, but I think Thresh is in kind of the variety category where he can do so many things. If you're the type of support player that likes to go all in, or the type of support player who likes to protect your carries, Thresh serves both of those purposes, and Sleepyhead might be in a bit of trouble.
On Sleepyhead. Gonna get engaged on here, does get the double knockout, but that's just very quick. Death for Kane, at least he didn't feel any pain there as he has gray screen to look at for the next couple of seconds. And the Rift Herald is now under the control of Akuma if they decided to pull the trigger on.
They probably can, but they're trying to get control over the river side first. It's really good. Oh, Giga stole the Skull Crab.
Yeah, Giga stole the Skull Crab. Ratchet got CC there. It's kind of all over the place. Very scrappy fights, and we could see it here. In 10-minute mark, Veigar gets
almost
engaged
expected
well.
Ratchet to just go in on that Q. Not gonna lie.
I swear too. I was like, okay, is double Q coming up right now? Maybe.
I'm glad we're on the same boat though. Ratchet, you know he's gonna go in at some point. You know he's gonna pull the trigger. The question is when, where, and how it will work out.
Yeah, forget about the Zenith Blade from Leona. Death Sentence outranges that, so I think that's why he drafted the box. Woo! Now used Sleepyhead as a disengaged tool. Ratchet to just get away and help Faluk not get engaged on by this Kane. Kane, do you think he's going to go Assassin or Red?
I think probably gonna go assassin just to get. I mean, there's not too much like tanky members on the side of what you call it, on the side of Akuma to justify. I'm not sure which is stronger, right? Usually there's a version of Kane that's stronger at every moment, and Fluke's trying to go all in.
This could be the 1v1 we were looking out for. But he gets the outplay! He ults on the right one! Are you kidding me? Flyer! Absolute chat in the mid lane. Sensational play there, putting OMT now 4-6 against Akuma. Akuma still have the lead though.
That's more worth for the Veigar, I have to say. The person gets in first, and Skirmish in the bot lane.
Toy goes all out. This time Ratchet decides to go golden, but Keyboarder getting low and low, dropping like fly. And Sleepyhead is here for reinforcement, and Ratchet throws out the Q, but goes back to the fountain. He's a dead duck. 6-7. OMT are coming back strong.
That was a really strange play to make. I expected Hexmix to be there a lot sooner, but maybe there could have been some, I don't know, some miscommunication because Ratchet was super confident in making that play. Maybe expected help from their jungler, but just didn't show up at the right moment. So that's pretty unfortunate. I think they could have survived that if it was like a 3v3. Maybe they could have won, but they were able. I mean, it's the 2-for-1 special. You never want to see that if you're the team making the plays. So it's just back and forth right now between these two teams. But a back and forth would definitely favor the side of OMT. If they can continue to, you know, scale up into the late game.
Exactly.
And so
they got the Veigar.
Yeah, they got the Veigar. That's the big ticking time bomb for them right now. Even though Caitlyn does outrange the Veigar, if she missteps a single time, she gets nuked. Absolutely. So now the Skirmish come up the dragon.
The opposite is true of Zeri, though, because if Caitlyn's making the wrong move and she doesn't have her net or something like that, it goes wrong. But Zeri excels at being one of the most mobile champions of the game, making it very difficult for players efficiently to catch her out. Speaking of that, though, bottom, we got some action or fight breaking out after Red Team secures the Drake. The Ocean is going to be the soul. Ratchet's going to flash away.
Gosh.
Toy is just absolutely deleted there. Full combo. Hex miss. Throws out the Gorgenger as well. But here comes Ace in the hole. Does connect on Sleepyhead. Sleepyhead very low. Trying to run away. But here comes AX. Fluke lands the ability in the last nick time. And here comes Hex miss. Oh, there it is. Sonic Wave Zeri. I just jinxed it, saying that she's able to get away as a very mobile champion. Gets annihilated by Hex miss, who's, like you said, is an American sniper right now.
Yeah, no. Let's be real. No one gets away from Hexmith. Either you die or he dies. That's how his brain goes right now.
Yeah,
that's why it looks like him and Ratchet are the perfect jungle support duo right now. Like, we're talking a lot about the mid jungle. The support jungle is also a famous duo that needs to be good because they are the foundation of the team right now, and these guys are absolutely insane.
Yeah, no, they are absolutely insane, this duo that's happening, the Thresh with Lee Sin. And I feel like it's hard to focus down on Zeri as Thresh if you're not landing the Q. So that's why I feel like Ratchet has just been focusing on Poise so much. And was like, you know, you're the second best thing that I want to focus on right now, so let's just make this happen. And we're seeing it's such a back and forth tug of war in this game.
Yeah. To be fair though to Ratchet, he made a really good play in that dragon. That after they managed to get the dragon, where he went in, played 3 people towards his team to make sure that they would have a harder time getting away than flashed out. So I think that was a really good heads-up play from Ratchet there. He just keeps making plays. This guy just keeps trying to do the proactive thing, which is something I really like.
Not a passive support by any means.
Yeah, I absolutely hate it when people think, oh, the support just inting, when, you know, I feel like he is going for the right place. It's just sometimes when you flip that coin, it lands tails, you know?
It's a coin flip for Ratchet again right now. Let's see if he lands the Q. Is he going to go in? That should be the prediction.
Listen, I said the same thing for Bard last time, so...
Yeah, the Bard.
Bard give it.
Bard
give it, Bard take it. Remember that ultimate? I will probably never forget that Bard ultimate. Absolutely trolled this.
Oh yeah, when they were chasing the ADC and the carries, they all like his team had like a green light on getting the kills, and he just ults on them. So
and then they got killed instead. That
was funny. Hexman goes in. Indigo under a lot of fire right now. Ace in the hole is not blocked. LeBlanc finds the kill though. Absolute menace on the Rift right now. Zeri is deleted without an ADC. OMT have to give what's on the map. And again, Hexmec goes in. It's either him or you. This time it's Veigar who's going down. Miss Flash's blast going out. Kane is dialing in on this Hexmech, who just goes down as well so far. 1 for 2. And Akuma are out trading OMT. That is the box. That is the death sentence. But here comes the Go James, the headbutt, and knocks him out. Giga now trying to run away. Sleepyhead around there, but the death sentence does land. And Ratchet is not in reach to go all out. So that's still going to be trades all across the map. And OMT and Akuma, they're having fun, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely. This is a very, how should we call it? How do we say the politically correct? A very happy game. Very...
very happy game, yeah.
It's at least... we call it a bit of a fiesta right now. The optimal play, I think, as soon as they had gotten that kill, was for Lee Sin to actually fall back instead of going in so they can secure the Rift Herald. But instead, they just keep going in and in. So they do get the kills, they do get more resources, but they don't get the objective, which I think, you know, has higher value than kills. Because you'll be able to get so much gold if you get the Rift Herald and start pounding away on those towers. All the golden map control at your fingertips, and Akuma chose not to do it, so...
You sound like a coach right now, Miles, because a lot of coaches do say that repeatedly in bot reviews. When you do get a pick on anybody, you're supposed to really go for objectives. Either that or just invade the jungle, get turrets, anything, really.
Yeah.
But they don't tell you to go for more kills, is what we're seeing from Akuma.
Technically, kills are objectives too, but they're a lot lower value objectives. They're a lot lower value of an objective than a Rift Herald, which can net you so much more gold. Okay, they're going in.
Oh, they're going in. Ratchet goes in, but he did not expect that kind of damage from the other side, so he's really need to be careful right now. The Goat James is there using the lantern to get away. No. Faluke is engaging on Flyer. This is the beauty of Assassins. Off the wall you go. Hex missed, using that pink ward hop to back to safety. They're not going to find any catches from OMT so far, so they're desperately looking. You know, they got Event Horizon. They got some vision down. They're just looking for somebody to walk up.
And that's the question, right? Who's going to be able to walk? I mean, they have to walk up. The low range on most of the champions over on the side of Akuma, and they're trying to go for the Dragon right now.
Go James, the front line, and that's Nature's Grass. This is a bit of a tunnel. Pickup point, if you might call it. Lego James going to get engaged on, but from the flank comes Fluke and assassinates Flyer, who goes down. Ratchet does find the death sentence. No more Maokai. Zeri finds a retaliating kill, but will go down. Indigo only good for one, and that's the double from AKM Keyboarder. This is the first ace in the game. Akuma do find it.
Yeah, that was a really good fight by Akuma, making sure they actually used the range. Of the side of OMT against them, and just outplayed them by going in from the flank. I think Fluke was extremely crucial in that fight, being able to get onto the backline, especially onto Flyer. Once he was done, the DPS was basically gone. Indigo couldn't do anything in the choke point because, you know, he has to go in, and Keyboarder was just a shooting gallery, just free to fire everywhere, anywhere, and he was completely protected.
Yeah, and they also had him in a bit of a tunnel, right? Like it was the bot side river, and Nature's Grasp was zoning them not quite well. It's just the flank Fluke, right?
Yeah,
came out and
just
name
to X-Flank.
Flyer.
Change the name to X-Flank right now. Don't worry.
X-Flank. X-Flanker, dude. That's what he's good at. X-Flank on the LeBlanc. If he keeps playing assassins like this, then it's definitely a problem.
You know what else is a problem? That Dark Seal should be turning into a Magi soon, and he's gonna start really. Oh my gosh!
Oh, this time though, Ace in the Hole is blocked, which is good. X missed. Woo. Oh, what kind of ult was that, Flyer? A little bit optimistic there. He thought he was gonna delete him, but now that's just a cooldown on the Veigar ulti. He has to be careful. That's like 100 seconds.
Veigar doesn't have too many stacks right now, only 134, so he's not going to be really deleting anyone anytime soon, unless it's Keyboarder who gets caught out. I think he's the only one that will get 100-0 by Veigar, but as I said, the range from Caitlyn allows him to play a lot farther back than a lot of other AD carries in this situation, so you should be fine. Plus, he has so many escape pulls. Missed! What are you doing?
And Horizon does connect, missed. Now getting caught out. It's a 2v1. Is he going to live, surprisingly?
He just went in there 2v1. The Fluke is there too to back him up, so maybe not as crazy as I thought it was, but it looks crazy at times.
Oh, Flyer, quick as a rabbit.
He just
doesn't get stunned up, which is lucky.
Smooth criminal right there, sidestepping every single piece of CC that that Fluke had in store for him. Actually managing to survive that 2v1. So surviving that's extremely good. Otherwise, immediately, if he dies, I think Akuma just turned to the Baron immediately and tried to go for that objective.
Yeah, I think Flyer also has to realize that he is kind of the win con for OMT right now because everything else is just kind of falling out of the window and they're not finding good engages. They're not finding good picks and team fights. They're losing objectives. So Flyer kind of has to watch out and play more carefully if he wants to make his team kind of get back into the game.
Yeah. Honestly, Veigar would be the perfect counter to someone with an Ocean Soul because, you know, you can't regenerate if you're dead. And you get bursted down. So that's good
a good
for
quote.
That's
a good quote.
that's a good part about Veigar, but he's just not at the state where he's strong enough to be able to do that yet. Like I said, anyone except Keyboarder, he was gonna have a very easy time surviving with all these bodies protecting him. Ratchet's doing his job super well, engaging well, being able to protect the Caitlyn. It's a skill that I actually admire from him. And Legoat as well over there with the Gragas. If someone tries to go onto the back line, drop the casket, they're flown out, and then Explode catches them. It's like an alley-oop.
Yeah, it's the perfect setup. Layup. Oh, here we go. Ratchet gonna miss the death sentence. It was warded, but oh, there it is. Let's see who secured it. I think it was Hexmas who secured the red so far. Nature's Grabs comes up. This is a scrappy fight. Going in favor of Akuma. They get another pick, and Kane just has to flash away. Back to safety. Elisa ace in the hole. Does not connect. Hexmas still looking for those Sonic Waves.
Yeah. Maybe not 100% hit rate right now, but it's still deadly as ever. He's at least zoning with them. And 30 seconds, wait, is it 1 minute until the dragon shows up? They're gonna have, Toy's gonna have enough time to respawn, of course, Hexmas.
Oh, Indigo in a lot of trouble, get deleted.
Gosh.
And that is a clever and exceptional maneuver there by a Hexmas to secure the kill. The most vulnerable target
really,
from OMT.
It really is a thin line between insanity and genius, you know what I mean?
Who said that? That Albert Einstein who said that?
Somebody no idea who said that. Someone smarter than me definitely said that. But like,
somebody said that.
Hexmas embodying that quote right now. He decided to go in on the enemy ADC under a tower, survive, and kill them.
He's just waiting for his team to catch up. Fly gonna throw out the tunnel. He catches two. This is the ADC. The Lantern is no good. The Q is good though on the side of the Thresh, but now nowhere out for Sleepyhead. Goes back to the fountain. Superior mechanics on this Fluke here so far. We'll call him X-Flank. He does not get the assassination just yet though.
Does not get the assassination, but unfortunately, I don't think Flyer was able to use his ultimate on Keyboarder. If he was out of the fight, maybe they could have had better chance there, but that's unfortunate. Now the Ocean Soul is in the hands of Akuma. And I don't think there's anyone right now who are going to be able to deal with it on the side of OMT.
Yeah, they got the Ocean Soul. They got this Gragas here regenerating. Oh, here we go. This is a good 1v1 happening. Giga taking this 1v1 angle, going all out. Let's see if he's going to further commit. He does not know where the other allies or enemies are at this time, so I don't think he really wants to force anything because, you know, you don't want to give any more leads over to Akuma.
Yep, if he dies, straight to Baron is Akuma going to go. So he decides not to push it, even though he did use his ultimate to try and all-in onto Legoat. He would have had a chance because he didn't, but, you know, that's information that's only we're privileged to. You, me, and Twitch chat, and producer Wookie, of course, about where the rest of the team is. And Akuma, he just go in. Toy shows his face. They know who they're going for.
Oh, Toy. Back against the wall. He collapses. That's yet another kill for this LeBlanc. 10 kills. That's double digits, Miles. The silent assassin. We're talking a lot about Hexmas, but it has been the show, quite the show for AKM X-Fluke.
Yep. I'm glad to see X-Fluke going back to business right here. One of the best mid laners right now in Senior. And seeing him back in this form does my heart good. Oh my gosh.
Indigo! The burn! The burn from Hexmas. The Sonic Wave. He goes yet another engage. Gonna get out. Warthog his way. Giga is there. So he really has to respect this vicious alligator or crocodile. I really don't know at this point. But Hexmas gets... Is a crocodile? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, again, somebody else said a quote, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, I mean, for you, it might be a crocodile. For somebody else, it could be an alligator. And I don't
I'm
know if
pretty
that
sure they're
even
just
relates.
physical differences between a crocodile and an alligator.
It's League of Legends, bro. It's League of Legends. Yeah,
That
I
does
want to
not
know.
excuse scientific okay.
I hope somebody can come up with information, valid scientific information, if it's a crocodile. But he's very vicious right now, but gonna go down. LeBlanc finds the kill. Ratchet now in a lot of trouble. He gets chucked away by Veigar. Veigar in turn is getting landed. You want to put them in a corner. They come out in beast mode, and Akuma, they're looking at yet another fight that they're gonna win, and this is Fluke fully online for this LeBlanc.
Yeah, 25 stacks on the Magi, and I definitely believe Ratchet knew what he was doing there, sacrificing his life to make sure he can get the play and just clean up. The rest of his team can just clean up after that. Really good setup from Akuma. Now they can get the Baron and start sieging, and it'll be definitely gonna be hard. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Indigo.
Oh, wait, Indigo.
Might be able to scoop up the kill here. Oh, just in range, barely. You hate to see it. Ace in the hole for the kill. Keyboarder all the way from downtown. Scoops that one up.
You hate to see it, Indigo. Oh, he had this heal too. Oh, wait, I'm not sure if he had this heal at that point. Maybe it just came up. But otherwise, that was so close, but the range, just not enough. X-Fluke playing with his heart right there. Just like every other person on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, guys, like, just think about today is very special. For those who are here, that means that, you know, you're catching one of a kind event right now, essentially. Senior class, only Mondays, man, right? So
Yeah.
it did fall on Valentine's Day. It's all good, though. I celebrated yesterday, so, you know, 200 IQ because so I could cast today. Just so I could cast today.
I live in the future, so it's fine for me. It's already the 15th.
I see, my friend. Like we said, we did say a little bit of Matrix stuff going on last week too with you, the red pill or blue pill, because you seem to be predicting a lot of what was happening.
I mean, I did predict Akuma in my while I was disconnected from the. You asked who I would have predicted to win. I did predict Akuma to win. Oh my gosh, Fluke. I'm just.
Oh no!
You just can't. Fluke's just too strong.
Dude.
Oh my gosh!
Just walked up only to go back to the fountain, and now Hexmit might be in a lot of trouble. He does find a kick though, and Sleepyhead does not have a lot of mana. Lego James in the front line. He's gonna get stunned up. He has to flash away, and Giga's around the corner there. We're gonna disengage Indigo. Has to watch out. That is, by the way,
this is a
what
3v5.
3v5.
It was
that
a 3v5. They killed Toy, but it was a 3v5.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
Unbelievable. And here we go. Keyboarder. Oh, it just absolutely deletes there. Clever way of positioning, and Giga now has to back away. The root is good in the meantime. Nature Scraps only buying some time. The inevitable doom that's about to happen. This Baron buff minions, Akuma are looking to take down the inhibitors as well as the Nexus shortly.
Man, it's really fun watching Akuma play when they have all these playmakers on their side. Absolutely dominant performance coming from them. It looked a bit happy at first, but they were able to get the edge out and just win out on all fronts.
On the last hurrah by Sleepyhead, he goes all out, but nobody's there to follow up with him except Toy, who Toy is now in a 1v3 situation. And there it is. AKM Keyboarder picks up the double, and there's a huge commotion up in the Nexus. The Keg will not send them back, but Flyer's the only one left alive to do anything here, and Akuma are gonna be securing the first game between these two giants. Oh, they're going for more! Just like MGM wanted to get a kill in the Nexus, but they couldn't quite get it. So that's the first game in the books, Miles David.
Game 1, and Kuma got what I expected from them. Strong playmakers, able to net out a very dominant performance, coming especially from this mid-jungle duo. Hexmis and X-Fluke performed absolutely spectacularly. Keyboarder definitely did his job along with Legoat James up in the top lane. I mean, it was a kind of, if you're put on Gragas duty, sometimes it ends up turning out that way where you're just playing a 1v1 against your opponent. But you know, he did not allow Giga to get out of control at all in the early game, where Gragas is the most vulnerable, and was able to just calmly scale up. So really good game from Akuma. I can't really complain about anything except for maybe the trigger happy plays of Ratchet in the early game. If they fight against let's say more experienced opponents, that could be punished super easily into and snowball out of control. So I think Ratchet has to limit test a bit less, but that's for later in the league. That's for later when the
That
stakes are
is,
higher. Right now,
yeah.
this is when you go for those kinds of plays.
No, absolutely, you're right, and we're talking about relationships because today is that theme, and the relationship between Lee Sin and LeBlanc. I mean, spot on. I mean, they're the couple on the Rift everybody else was jealous of because they were just getting fed, dude. Everybody else was starving. Everybody else was like, they don't got a Valentine's Day. There's no dinner for them. But out of here on the Rift, Lee Sin and LeBlanc were going to
Yeah,
all
they
these
have
bougie restaurants getting
they
fed.
and they pictured all of it, put it on Twitter for everyone to see. That's
Yeah,
put it on
equivalent
Twitter
of
and
what we saw
Instagram.
happen.
Everyone just looking at them with jealousy right now. But yeah, we'll see if OMT can come back game two. Hoping they could, because it's usually a warm up game for OMT. We saw how they performed last week. Maybe this time they'll be able to edge out their opponents.
Yeah, we'll see. And that's going to be a good segue to throw out to the break. I'm going to toss it over. We're going to be right back shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Maybe OMTK could bring it back. And there we are. Welcome back for the second game. That was pretty short. I'm joined here by Miles, and my name is Proof, and we are your senior class casters. Always fun to be here. It's the second week, right? So there's a lot on the table still that we haven't seen, and things that we have seen that maybe we've liked and we didn't like. So example of that is the Senna, not the Senna, the Janna top, the bar top, things
Mm.
like that. But it's always fun here. And with that said, OMTK did decide to go on the red side after playing on the blue, and Akuma are now going to be having the opportunity to first pick essentially. And Miles, what are we going to look at here? What can OMTK do now that they're on the red side to make things better and maybe make this go to the third game?
They may decide to just ban LeBlanc and Lee Sin. I think they were Fluke and Hexmas were just absolutely going all over the place, making plays again and again, and OMT just weren't able to deal with it. Talking about things I like X Fluke just flaming his team right now over into Twitch chat instead of concentrating on the draft. Get your butt back into the lobby, Fluke.
Yeah. Sadly, I can't see the Twitch chat. Do we start the draft yet? Because I feel like we are just waiting for them to. Yeah, almost there.
We're almost there. We're almost there.
So I guess we could have some time to discuss like what was working for OMTK last game. They could try to maybe replicate this game because I feel like not a lot was going for them, right?
Yeah, it's hard to say what was working for them. Honestly, they weren't able to cover their lanes. I guess the only thing working for them was Ratchet just being a bit too trigger happy in the bot lane and getting punished. That was the only real thing working for them, but they weren't able to build anything off of that foundation. And unfortunately, Flyer just got targeted again and again on that Veigar by Xfluke and missed, so he wasn't able to get off the ground either. So maybe OMT would like to do something a bit more proactive. I'd like to see them kind of step away from the Renekton. I feel like it just didn't give them like the early game prowess or mid game prowess that they were hoping for, just because things were bleeding everywhere. So maybe a more robust, some more robust laners would end up working for OMT. Maybe we can see the return of Indigo's Jhin.
What do you mean by robust? I mean, let's elaborate a little bit more on that thought, right? Because when you say robust, in my opinion, it was kind of like they did get the Renekton out, but it was, I mean, they did get the Lego James Gragas out, so that was pretty robust because he was getting a lot of trades and wasn't dying.
Yeah, I feel like the top lane, top lane was kind of fine. It was just basically the two players having a gentleman's duel up there all the time, and not it's only Lego James starting to contribute like nearly at the end of the mid game when he started TPing in for those fights. But I'm talking about more of the rest of the map where things were just bleeding out of control. The Veigar just kept getting stomped over and over again.
Yeah, for MTK, yeah. The Renekton wasn't getting a lot of good picks. The Veigar absolutely got countered because you just blinded a Veigar. Of course, it's gonna get countered, especially in a competitive setting. You know, it's like the dream of every mid laner. It's like, okay, laning phase, I want that. You know, you pick Veigar, you blindly pick Veigar. Thank you, giving me the laning phase. Thank you so much. Right? Yeah. It's like every mid laner's happiness. It's boost the serotonin seeing Veigar.
I think if you're just a solo laner in general and you see that you get to counter pick, it's like the world is your oyster, honestly.
Yeah, no, it's not just you, but you know. Oh, wait a minute, we got a Kaisa game on our hands. I mean, let's just dive into this. Akuma picking the Gwen, first picking on the blue side. This could be flex top or jungle. We don't know yet. So it's already good. But
I have two words for you. I have 2 words for you, Proof. Just seeing these 2 picks, dive comp. OMTK are just going to go in and in and in with this Hecarim and Kaisa. Things work out for them. It could be an extremely dominant win for them, but Akuma, they will have a chance to be able to actually counter this composition, which is strange hearing from blue side, but they're definitely going to be able to do it because I think OMTK showed their hand really early with picking Hecarim and Kaisa.
Yeah, you could in the face of a good dive comp, you could actually pick yourself a good peel comp. You know, like
there we go.
Exactly, Karma, Enchanters, and just play around your hyper carries. Because if you want the team to come into you, all you have to do is make sure that you live. Like I've seen a Reddit post where a competitive team was trying this out, and it was essentially unkillable if you have a good peel comp into dive comp.
Yeah, I know several coaches who absolutely hate the comp that OMTK is pulling right now. They would absolutely be molding seeing this coming out from them. Just because, you know, this is something that I've seen a lot more from NA, where they're very dependent on dive comps. It's very simple to pull off, right? If you're able to get to the right target, but it's also pretty easily countered if the enemy team knows what they're doing. So it looks like Akuma, though, they see what's happening and they're able to respond accordingly. And the ban phase is
Yeah.
out right now. Ari being taken away. I believe X Fluke also has a really good Ari of his own, but maybe just wants to take it away from Flyer's hands. We saw as you said before, we saw how good it was last week.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, last week, Flyer, the relationship between the mid and jungle was there, unlike this game that we saw from OMTK. So OMTK didn't have that good synergy between the jungle and mid to pull this game off, because guess what? Akuma did. Akuma had at Lee Sin. Akuma had X Fluke, who was looking at double digits by the end of the game. So I think that should be the main thing they need to address in the second game, before even going to like the whole theory behind, okay, I want a dive comp, I want a peel comp and all that. Because last game they kind of struggled because of that mid lane, because of that jungle, and they didn't get much in return. So I feel like OMTK maybe are headed towards that direction. But for Akuma on the blue side, they have so much flexibility. I mean, look at that. They have a Zeri, they have a Karma Enchanter support. I feel like they could even go Soraka mid if they wanted to.
Why does it feel like Akuma are on red side? Because they're the ones responding to what OMTK is doing right now. Yeah. Syndra getting taken away. Okay, a Gangplank. It's not really technically a dive champion, but he can help out from across the map with his ultimate. So it's still good. It's still good for OMTK's plans. And although you're right, there were some fundamental mistakes coming from OMTK. I like the fact that they're building a team comp at least with an identity in mind, with a game plan in mind. Yeah. Even if you know what's coming, if they're able to execute properly, it can be very hard, you know? It can be very hard to deal with. And it looks like this Gwen's going to be in the jungle instead. And it's going to be Camille over in a top lane fight against Gangplank, which that's a very big brain move from Akuma right there. Getting the top laner to show his hand again and just countering. So
they could have even gone Kale. I mean, Camille is just a little bit nice, to be honest. It's still bad, right? It's still bad for OMTK. But it's just this Camille and Gangplank matchup is not going to look that good for Giga. Last week, 2 miles, Giga had a free lane on the Gangplank into the Janna Smite top. And still, they didn't come up that clutch. And I'm not being critical. I'm just saying that
I think he's gonna fare better here. I think he's gonna fare better here at least.
At least a little bit better, right? I mean, we might see Gangplank warmed up, and now that's a Corki last pick and Leona last pick from Akuma. What do we think about the draft so far, Miles?
I mean, I think Akuma have the tools to be able to counter what OMTK does, but OMTK, they have some really good tools in their kit right now to be able to pull off what they want to do. It's very obvious, as I said, what they want to do. They are going to be diving bot 24/7, and we'll see whether Akuma is going to be able to respond to that. I'm assuming X-Fluke with his Karma should be on the roam, making sure that bot lane is protected, or, you know, they're going to be able to counter those all-ins coming from OMTK.
We saw MGM last week. I think this is what OMTK are trying to do. They played against MGM last week. MGM had a great dive comp. They didn't have the Hecarim necessarily, but they did have the Trundle who taxes everybody's flashes. On top of that, they had the roaming top laner, Janna support. So that's kind of like the ideal blueprint if you want to pull off a good dive comp and just pressure everything on the map and just let, you know, yeah, you're going to give a lot of bounties on turrets at some point or you're going to get back on some bounties because you have a free lane against the top side. What I'm trying to say here ultimately is they could have gone that round and just did exactly what MGM did last week. They could have just gone Janna top or something like that.
I'm not sure how many teams are practiced on Janna top right now, or because, you know, it's like how do you call it? It's possibly going to be a temporary pick because there's no way Riot isn't going to nerf it, right? So would you rather have the short-term gain of like spending time to practice it, or would you rather practice your long-term strategies? And maybe these teams are just opting for the opting for the long-term, you know. But if you're a team that's talented enough to just be able to do picks like that on the fly, like MGM, just go for it, right?
Well, yeah, MGM were practicing that to add to your point, right? Because Ekeb Maskov, if you look at his recent games on OP.GG, he's been putting in a lot of work on that Janna top. He's been not only playing Janna top, knowing that it will get banned, he's also doing some like unorthodox things, like coming from LS or something, playing Bard top, Karma top, and all that. Just try to play the same type of playstyle with a dive comp and ever roaming support on the map.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I think it's just MGM as a team able to, you know, there's a reason these guys were champions for 2 years, for 2 semesters in a row, because they're just so adaptable and they're able to adapt to whatever meta, whatever strategy is presented to them. Even though it did look a bit shaky last split with a lot of very happy games coming from MGM, still
Mhm.
you can't deny their skill. But other teams, I'm not sure if OMTK and Akuma are basically at that level. I think Akuma has a playstyle that they've just defaulted to. This is what they're good at, and this is what they're going to do again and again. Which is,
Mhm.
have playmakers in the team and just go for these plays again and again.
Yeah, they're going. Their team fight is looking strong. Knowing what they could do with their jungle and mid lane synergy as well. Here it's looking like a Karma solo lane, obviously, and we're looking at a Gwen jungle. So that in itself has a lot of damage, but also not as much CC like they did last time. Obviously, right? They have
Mm.
conditional CC. They have a good built-in CC from this Karma, but Gwen necessarily is just there to be that stat checker and
Yeah.
late game kind of assurance for Akuma, and maybe OMTK might have to struggle with that.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if OMTK just managed to power drive Akuma out of the way, then if that's it should also be good for them. For OMT, it's very hard to define their play style because I haven't seen them get off the ground yet. It feels like they barely.
They almost
there was
did.
one game. There's one game where they were almost able to straight up win. It was off the back of really off the bat of Indigo playing super well on Jin.
Yeah, last week.
But it's last week. But it was also a Jin. It's very it's hard to be able to hard carry with a more supportive ADC. So maybe in the future, I'd like to see them play more towards his side, give Indigo the resource, a lot more resources and the ability to hard carry. I think that should be what OMT does. But
True.
right now, they're just going for the all in. So let's see how this goes.
They're going for the all in, and I feel like part of why last week was kind of almost successful for OMTK was because they had Flyer, who's now playing Corki, was back last week was playing Ari with a Jarvan jungle. That's a lot of CC. That's a lot of built-in CC and a lot of getaway. So you could escape a lot of flanks and ganks.
Blank,
a lot of ganks and flanks if you are an Ari mid and you hit that level 6. And Corki's also mobile too, and he'll always be a champion no matter what if you kill him once or twice. So I feel like it's nicer now that they have Corki, but I think it's not like their ideal synergetic kind of jungle and mid duo.
Yeah, it's not completely ideal. Like Corki, Hecarim together, you don't think it's gonna be much. But you know what? As a team comp, it at least makes sense because Corki has his package.
Yeah, it makes sense. It has a lot of damage, that's for sure. Gangplank has that universal ultimate, is making a lot of plays happen. Like you said, for bot dive could happen. Hecarim, that call it devastating charge and Corki care packet. So a lot can happen here, and I think this is a good segue to toss it to a break. And the predictions should be up right now for you guys right now in the chat. And I already do see. Let me check the chat real quick. 3.2K. All right, on AKM, nobody out there is believing in OMTK. That's kind of
there should be at least one here. Xfluke said AKM sucks and OMT will win. Where's the vote, Fluke? Where's the vote?
Well, he's just voting through the game, I guess. He's playing the game. But for the rest of you guys out there, we're going to toss it to a break. We'll be right back with the second game between OMT Khaos versus Akuma Blades. And that break was nice, Miles. Drinking some water, getting back in action.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll see some bloody start here, but that's maybe not going to be that likely because no invades are happening.
I mean,
how fun is that, man? How fun is
the bloodiness starts when the minions start hitting each other. I know you know Ratchet's gonna try to go for something, especially now. He did as you requested and got Leona, so expect a bit more coming from him.
You know, if he was playing like Leona on Thresh, imagine how he's playing on Leona with Leona, essentially. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's going to be really fun to see that. And on top of that, let me note that real quick. When we're in the loading screen, we saw a lot of things there, right? We saw everybody on the side of Akuma having skins. They're splurging. And they got Leona Prestige Edition. But guess what? Kaisa Indigo has balled out with a Prestige Edition KDA Kaisa. So it's Battle of Prestige Editions in the bot lane. I'm turned up in myself here because we got a late invade happening, and Hexmist will find the flash on Giga. And now the engage on Sleepyhead. They're going to give their respect, though, because OMTK, they don't want to die just yet.
Yeah, not just yet. Oh, wait.
Yeah, some stuff are about to happen. I mean, Sleepyhead was like, okay, forget about my red. Let me do the Raptors real quick. And Flyer is there trying to zone them out, but they're not going to really fight over this red. Flyer now is going to get burnt by that red. Hexmist is level 2. Sleepyhead is going to be level 2 because he did the Raptor, so that is already heads up play by this Hecarim. Just rolling with the punches.
Yeah, making sure that he doesn't get punished too hard right now. But I would like him to go for possibly down there onto the bottom red immediately, since, you know, his bot lane seems to be also winning out on the trades. Wait, never mind, all in.
That's an all in. The bot lane Ratchet gets very low. One more tick on the Ignite will probably do it. Oh, it's going to come down to the last tick. Indigo almost getting that kill with the help of Toys Ignite, but that did not go in their favor just yet.
Yeah, already 3 summoners down on both sides. Only Nautilus and Zeri have their flashes right now. Keyboarder can play with a bit more disrespect, but Indigo has to be a lot more careful. Ratchet, though, he's probably going to go in again, even though he has very little health. No way of getting no biscuits right now to be able to get back any. But still, it feels like the opposite of what happened last game is happening now with Toy going for with Toy being able to get more out of them all in. They're going for more.
He's gonna go flash for stun. The Q is not gonna land. The dredge line is no good. But Sleepyhead comes in, hold it from the back for that early gank. First blood. Nicely done there. Indigo is gonna be happy with that one. And that is what we're looking for OMT Khaos. They needed to make some changes. They're coming out very, very good in the second game.
Yep, not a dive, but definitely what you want to see, especially for Kai'Sa lane. You want to make sure Indigo gets out of lane with as much of an advantage as can so he can turn into that ADC assassin that you know you love to see in solo queue.
Yeah, and Sleepyhead, definitely a good start. Right. Hex, he's not going to die. Hexmax is not going to die. I'm always a believer.
All right.
That was close, though.
My faith was shaking there for a bit, but there we go. Hexsmith, he knows his limits. If there's anyone who knows the limits of his champions, it's probably Hexsmith, to be fair. That guy just knows.
And you could say if he doesn't know his limit, he's going to find out in this game. Because, like, you already know his limit testing.
Yeah. I mean, Ratchet's doing the same thing. You're just on the other end of the stick, right?
Yeah, Ratchet is on the other side, all the way bot lane. Yeah, so far, I guess no early ganks from the Gwen. They just wanted to go for that early invade, so that was their kind of play for this early game.
Yeah, pretty much. And it hasn't really resulted into any more than maybe getting a bit of control in that early game. But well, Sleepyhead has managed to recover nicely. He's even ahead when it comes to CS right now and was able to get that gank off, so he has that assist. So really good recovery from him, and as you said, the heads up play for going for the Raptors and just giving up the red buff, you know, just let them have it, especially since you don't have the health or resources right now as things in the river.
Yeah, a lot of wards and things in the river, and that's a good engage by this Leona. They were all roaming there. They originally, I think, wanted to dive the top lane because you do see the pink drop there for the gangplank, but they ended up just fighting in the river. And the Leona got a good engage off. Sleepyhead now on the 1v1 against the Hexmist. Hexmist popping the... having to pop the Ghost in just a little bit if he wants to get away, but Sleepyhead is making a lot of moves. Hexmist with the red buff. Smite down as well. Sleepyhead gets some health back. no fight to be had after that.
Yeah, jungle saw each other, decided to tussle her a bit, and then walked away after. I mean, would have been a bit suicidal if they continued to fight for either of them because both their teammates were coming. But I think a bit more so for Hex miss. But then again, Ratchet, he's coming up. Giga.
Ratchet, the ever-roaming support, finds the stun and the Zenith Blade on Giga, and the Sun did definitely reach his Zenith. A nice assist given over to Lego James, and the kill picked up by Hexmist.
Oh, they're going for a dive. Keyboarder.
The dive comp, they got a little bit frustrated. They said, you're going to make Leona plays over top side. We're going to drop that Ignite on AKM. Keyboarder, but not going to make the play. The outplay. The dive comp, again, backfiring on them. Indigo will finish up the job, sweeps up the kill. And that's a 3-2 close game on our hands.
Yep. You never want to see that happen. You want to always go for the 1-for-nothing trade. But at least, Indigo is able to get one back, and the resources are going to him. So at least he's getting stronger and stronger. But definitely not what you like to see. Still a bit messy coming from OMTK.
You know, OMTK, they really are feeling the urgency to do something, right? Because they saw the play happen over the top side. Giga died there, and Hexmas now looking at a 2-0 start, where Hecarim is only having 1 assist so far. But, getting ganks off is still good for our jungler on the side of OMTK, but they're feeling the frustration and the urgency because this Leona is making plays.
I like how confident Hexmas though immediately goes for the Dark Seal. He knows he's gonna be doing a lot of proactive things, and he's trying to make sure that he can get as much as he can from it.
The snowball factor is there for Hexmas. In the meantime,
at this point, we call it a snowball or an avalanche when it comes to Hexmas.
Yeah, Hexmas is not just a snow; he's just an avalanche, right? You put it quite elegantly there. But now we might even have a fight over the first Drake, because both teams, they're looking like they want to put down some vision there in the bot side river.
Yeah, but it is a Cloud Drake, so I guess the priority for both teams isn't really to go grab it. I think the Rift Herald would honestly be a lot more priority for both teams in the early game, especially I guess for OMTK, who want to scale up, get to that late game, get to the point where Corki becomes an unbeatable monster, Indigo becomes the team's assassin, and Gangplank as well, and oh wait, the dive.
TPN, the Cannon Barrage. So TP burn and Cannon Barrage just because they saw Gwen. I mean, Hexmas didn't even do anything there, and he got like some cooldowns on the other side.
Yeah, definitely. That's very fortunate. Gangplank not being gonna be having a hard time helping any dives in the bot lane as well without his ultimate. So that's gonna be an opportunity in the next minute or so for Hexmas to do something. Instead, he's going for somewhere in mid. Oh no,
Hexmas
no,
overestimating.
Woo!
Or underestimating damage from Flyer.
Absolutely calculated, right?
Yeah, I guess, right? Goes in, you're like, oops. That was a big oops from Hexmas, but he recovers it quite well.
Yeah, man, I thought he was going to die from the turret, but managed to just get out of range.
That was Karma's there. AKM X Fluke. That's a relationship,
Yeah.
That's a relationship.
Guys,
right there. Valentine's Day special, ladies and gentlemen.
Treat your significant other like Fluke treats Hexmas.
Exactly. Speaking of that, the dive is happening. It's fully online, and this is the Tom. This is the team comp that we're waiting to see. Ratchet's very low under the turret. Indigo. No, this is the outplay. Ratchet goes golden, and Sleepyhead will be there to equalize the trade. That's a 2-4-2, though. Not ideal if you're OMTK, because you put so many resources there.
Yeah, I was talking about execution when it comes to these dives, and that ain't it, Chief. That definitely ain't it.
That ain't it. That ain't it.
That was really unfortunate. It felt more like a misplay from ONT rather than like an outplay coming from AKM in that regard. So maybe something to work on in the future. Have a bit more cleaner dives, making sure you're juggling that tower aggro nicely. But yeah, 2 for 2. And things are still even across the board, which does favor OMT a bit. But AKM, once they get something rolling, it's very hard to stop them. As I said, they're the Avalanche team.
They are the Avalanche team. You don't want to give them any sort of lead, especially in the early game. They will take that and run with it. We're seeing Sleepyhead creating up some awards now. They maybe could go for the invade here because the Nautilus is all the way here. So maybe they want to even pressure the Rift. It could be ideal as well.
Yeah, the wave's pushing in top lane right now. So now is the ideal time for them to be able to pressure that. And they should be able to grab the Rift Herald for themselves. Sleepyhead's going for it right now. So far, all objectives have gone OMT's way because the timing has been correct for them. When a wave is pushing down, that's when they go for an objective, making sure that, you know, there's no backup coming from the side of Akuma. Or they're always getting the trade down. So, oh, they're going for the fight instead.
Oh, they're going to make a commotion here in the topside river.
No
and
way.
Hexmist does get the rift. On top of that, using the ulti to put down so much damage. Sleepyhead, sticky end for him, as well as that gangplank. So Giga and Sleepyhead are holding hands in the Grayskin, while Akuma get away with the rift.
Oh my gosh, that's unfortunate. Hexmith getting that Rift Herald, plus all those kills going on the side of Akuma, it's gonna be brutal. In this top lane, I think it's just gonna be gone. Giga might have to start playing a lot more safe here, and that's a lot of map control going over to the side of AKM, especially for top side where the Baron is going to be spawning. Gonna be very hard to be able to defend that location if there's no tower there.
Yeah, this Rift Herald, this is the early Rift Herald too, so it's really, really useful, especially when there are plates on the map. Look at that, they just cash out on the first turret as well as plates, putting them at a 1k, almost 1k gold lead at 11 minutes.
I'm sorry, I think I muted myself. That Dark Shield is starting to stack up for Hex right there. I was gonna say something. I thought I usually mute myself when I cough, but instead, I muted myself when I was gonna say something.
Yeah, let me just mute myself when I'm talking.
Yeah.
So you guys get what I'm saying.
No, that's the perfect idea. Sorry about that, audience. But all right, here we're back into it. The Dark Seal is starting to really ramp up for the side of Hexmist. Once he changes that for a Magi's, I'm gonna be fearful for OMTK's chances in this game right now. Last fruit used, and next dragon should be coming up soon. 1 minute until it comes. Hexmist is all the way on the other side though. But he has already a completed item, so if a fight does break out, Hekim's gonna find himself at a very big disadvantage. Unless he has an item right now when he goes back.
I mean, at least he has the ulti, right? He has the ulti, he has Ghost as well to make anything happen.
Oh, Flare.
Ratchet is gonna play does not connect. Flyer is just not. I mean, at least he's having a better time compared to playing Veigar last game. Now on the Corki, finding more agency, but he has to really be careful against Hexmist. Hexmist does find him.
No,
it's a big catch 22 to get out of this one alive for Corki. He just goes down. The cannon barrage not doing so much. Hexmist will just fly away, kite away from Sleepyhead, who popped the Ghost, and the ult was burned from Giga. Not looking so good for OMT.
Man, you were complimenting Flare right there, and then you immediately just makes a big mistake.
Caster curse.
You just caster cursed him so hard right there, and now the dragon gonna go over to Akuma's side because the mid laner ended up going down. Flare, that's so unfortunate. He went a bit greedy for the Raptors, but he didn't have his Valkyrie to get away. He just used it earlier, so you hate to see it, man. You hate to see it.
You know what else you hate to see? You hate to see fights like that going in the favor of Akuma if you are a fan of OMT. If you're a fan of OMT right now, you're just edge of your seat because these things shouldn't be happening. Flyer shouldn't be getting out like that. Getting caught out like that. And now the Ignite almost sending him back to the fountain. He just doesn't have any room to breathe, especially in the Riona.
Another bit
to engage with you.
Yeah, that was another mistake by Flyer. He should be aware that, you know, your opponents have control over that side of the map. The bot wave is pushing in as well. There's no one there to contest. All right, nothing happened mid because I think Fluke flashed away. But yeah, Flyer got all in like that. It's a good thing he had this flash to get away. Otherwise, he would have been dead again back in the fountain. And that's not where you want to be as Corki. You want to be farming up. And it looks like Akuma found a way to just be able to deal with Flyer again and again. They're just finding him in the spots they need him to be in.
No, but it still is a champion. I have to say, Flyer, despite dying once on the Corki still remains a champion. And Ratchet, again, aggressive play right there. Trademark Ratchet play.
Yeah, as soon as his flash is up, expect him to do something.
Yeah. Oh, Fluke here might get caught out. That's good instincts. The full combo. Wombo finds that kill. And that was AKMX Fluke was the target, and he is found. In the meantime, Hexmist could be found as well here by the trade. That's the ulti from, yep, that's throwing out the ultimate. Still 1v3. That's a huge shutdown. 600 gold bounty now. Ratchet goes down as well. Not having the flash, because guess what? He burned it because he was being aggressive.
That's
8-7. This is exactly what OMT need to get back.
yeah, that's exactly what OMT. All those shutdowns going into the hands of both the Corki and the Kaisa. Indigo is 5-1-1 right now. If they can get these carries online, it's gonna be very hard for Akuma to be able to deal with them just because of how slippery they can be. This is a Corki and a Kaisa after all, and there's not too many tanks on the side of Akuma right now. So if they get on top of a single target, that target's just gonna get bursted down immediately.
And that's what they have the hooks for. That's what they have the engage for, right? Just because they are down by a little bit doesn't mean that they're not still able to catch you out if you make a mistake like that.
Yep, greed is bad for Akuma right now, unfortunately. This is not the Warcraft 3 cheat. Greed is bad for them, and they felt the punishment right there. Things are back to even, and OMT have actually taken a bit of a lead with the gold. A 300 gold lead. It's not much, but I think that's the first time they've had a lead in a while.
Especially when you got 600 gold bounty on your head, you shouldn't be playing that aggressively. Like, you shouldn't be invading. Like, first is like least to say, right? You shouldn't be invading, and now Ratchet going back in. He's gonna get stunned up with the CC chain right there. But Ratchet's still strong though. Leona is strong. You don't want to underestimate their HP and their sustain in team fights.
Yep, definitely. And right now, I mean, Ratchet, you expect a play coming from him every single time at the moment. So things starting to heat up a bit, because things are back to even between these two teams. It's not anymore the Akuma show. OMT have shown that they still have teeth. Even though their backs are against the wall, they're still dangerous to contend with. And I think Akuma's learning that the hard way. Oh my gosh. Flyer
might be wanting to go in, but Hex misses around the corner. Thankfully, though, for Flyer, there is that turret that he could hide behind. That's a dredge line right to the face. No. And yep, sticky end there for Fluke, who hasn't had a lot of agency this game compared to last game when it was just turbo smurfing with LeBlanc.
I like how OMT have shifted from dive into a pick comp. And that's what they need to do right now. Make sure to catch Akuma when they're off making mistakes like that. When they're in places that they shouldn't be. Hexmith almost got caught right there, but is able to dodge away from Toy.
Yeah, Hexmith had like a lot of stacks on that Dark Seal. Now, not having that many stacks because they aggressively positioned themselves in the bot side jungle and paid a hefty price for it. So now they don't have that kind of avalanche factor on this Gwen, but they're still a threat on the board.
Yeah, definitely. So, something to keep in mind. Hexmith's still definitely strong, and we'll see what he can do. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. I mean, Ratchet's still living. He's stronger than Brad's split jawline, but Indigo's stronger there too. With the 6th kill in the game. This is surprising turn of events. Indigo, we saw what he could do when he's ahead on ADCs like last week on the Gen.
Yeah, Indigo in game 2, name a better duo right now.
Yeah, Indigo game 2, name a better. That's funny, man. That's funny.
Because he's doing so well right now.
Yeah.
I think you just have to give this guy the resources. I think possibly one of the best players in OMT right now. And if he's able to get ahead, he knows how to be able to carry. Fluke though, not going to be able to steal. So that's the first Ocean Dragon going over to the side of OMT. Wait, Flyer's just going in.
Flyer now got the itch to go in. You know, everybody's getting the itch to go for these catch type of opportunities. So Flyer was like, let me try it myself. Fluke, you know, does have that movement speed to get away though. So no play to be had there, unfortunately, for Flyer. But they are still imminent, kind of like that nuke bomb waiting to happen, because they are a Corki. Guess what? Corki's still going to remain a champion, especially when they got their care back.
Oh yeah, definitely. The bombing run is coming. AKM have to be prepared for it when it comes down, especially when it comes to those big 5v5 team fights. When it comes down to it, if Corki is able to split the fight in the middle and isolate it for his team won't be able to clean up super well because of Indigo. And Indigo and Giga. So, something to keep in mind when it comes to those big in fight 5v5s that I think are going to be coming very soon. We've been having skirmishes so far, again and again. But once these big objectives start coming, Flyer, oh no.
Flyer gonna get flashed on, Solar Flare on, Wombo combo. That's 2,000-year prison for our Corki, unfortunately. Did have the hunch and the instinct not to go there. Should have just followed that.
Yeah, that was the moment. You don't go, wait.
More fight breaking out. The air is going to get thick again. Sleepyhead, though, zoning out Ratchet, who goes down. And now you see Legault James, the hook shot, the money shot for Legault James, finding that retaliating kill and equalizing the trades, and even maybe making it in their favor. That's 1-2. Akuma are ahead.
Yeah, Akuma are ahead, and they are ahead at the right time as well. OMT did well to get to the situation they were in, and then messed up. It feels like this game is about who is. It's less about who's winning out on the plays, and it feels less about who's winning out on the plays and who's getting caught out more.
Yeah, they do. They use a lot of ultimates to chunk them low. And look at they're just gonna drop those. Good play there by the Camille. Gets that kill. And now Giga very strong with the barrels as well as the Q. But once Indigo is alive, he is online. Legault James gonna get routed under his turret. Toxic ultimatum, almost getting the kill there. XM Keyboard will finish him off. Nicely done. That means that no Baron is gonna be for the taking for both these teams.
My gosh, you can be so ahead on an ADC, but you get close range to a Camille like that, it's just lights out.
Flyer still in the corner. Zenith Blade does not connect. AKM Keyboarder does have double buffs for, I don't know, whatever he wants to do at this point. Has a lot of sustain as well as just using abilities. But Toy, if he lands a dredge line on you, it's going to be GG. But
oh my gosh.
Ratchet on the 2v3 going in.
No way.
And Toy, very low on HPX. And Keyboarder with a quick feed. Leona gets the kill and has a 3v2. Are you kidding me? The shutdown Keyboarder is insane. Remarkable support. Ratchet is online as well. 15-13 and Akuma to find the plays.
We forgot partner. We were talking about partners, man, but you forgot talking about the most classic partner pairing of all time, the bot lane duo, and that was a brilliant performance coming from Keyboarder and Ratchet. All in, and it worked out really, really well.
I mean, honestly, man, you got to get him coffee after that. If you're a cam Keyboarder, get Leona a cup of coffee. You know, 4 shots of ice over Americana.
I can't believe they pulled it off, and both of them survived. Keyboard is he's super low. Guys are just poking.
Yeah. I mean, Schleber is around the corner for a 50-50 smite fight. He's going to go in, but not securing that. We'll go back to that gray screen. Has been the theme of the day. Don't worry, though. Be happy that you tried. But that's yet another engaged Ratchet this time around. I think he overdid it. He's 1v3, but he's stronger than Timothy Chamalay's jawline this time around, but he'll go down as well. AXM Fluke goes down, just bites the... Oh, wait a minute. He bites us Indigo. I thought he was going to get that other kill with the W, but Indigo does not have the damage just yet to be that scary Kaisa.
Yeah, even though Akuma were able to get the Baron, it's just fight. It's just fight after fight where it goes one way, then it goes the other way. This is the back and forth in the most classic sense possible. And I don't think they're going to be leveraging that Baron to get much, honestly, if you're on the side of Akuma. So the Dragon is going to be coming up soon, 30 seconds. Everyone will be up at that time. I should be expecting a 5v5 unless someone gets caught out, which has been happening a lot. A lot.
Keyboard might get caught out here. And speaking of that, yeah, that's the mobiles area that we know. And I don't know if we love that mobiles area, but it's going to receive its nerfs pretty soon, so might as well enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, ADC players enjoy the mobility. And I mean, it's just new champion syndrome, right? Oh wait, Hexsmith.
Look at that damage. Hexsmith not going to be healthy to fight in this fight on the bot side. That's yet another Drake secured by OMT Khaos. They're definitely chaotic right now. It's a tit for tat tug of war, and it's a close one. Giga might get caught out.
It's a close one. It looks like Akuma, they're trying to charge down mid, trying to leverage the Baron as much as they can. And deny my prediction, but they're not going to be able to get that tower, and they're in trouble.
That's the onslaught of the shadows. Does catch Legault James. He is history. And now Ratchet in front line goes, throws out the Zenith Blade. Cannon Barrage comes through the zoning factor with that ultimate. Giga now getting zoned out by himself, getting routed. He needs the safety of his allies. Ratchet goes in as well. This is 2v4. Are you kidding me, Xmas? Unstoppable, absolutely sensational quadra kill. Senior class, ladies and gentlemen, Runeterra Academy Valentine's Day special.
Xmas just gave it to them right now. He's taunting the enemy team on all chat too.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Akuma, they just grabbed these plays out of nowhere somehow. That was just basically a 2v4. It was a 2v4 and they managed to come out on top. Either Gwen is imbalanced
Indigo,
or
what
like
is Indigo doing?
he's trying to suicide. He's
Okay,
trying...
no, I didn't see Hexmas. I thought he was just running it down straight up. I thought like after that play, he was just like, I'm running it down, man.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But no, he was caught behind enemy lines. He had to suicide himself. Otherwise, give
But
Hexmas even more.
Here's my take on it. You know, do you watch Euphoria? Anybody in the chat watch Euphoria? Unfortunately, I can't see the chat right now, but I was watching Euphoria the other day in the podcast. Thing was talking about it's a league podcast, not the show with Zendaya. Casual was talking
anime, and I'm like,
no.
That was a bad.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about Casual saying that no matter. It was talking about scrimming against Caps, right? There's always that Caps factor when Caps is in his prime, that even if you're ahead on gold, like, you don't know what Caps is going to do. I feel like there's two Caps right now on Akuma. One is Hexmas and the other is Ratchet. I mean, you don't know what can happen with both these players. You could be ahead by a huge margin, but they can make a lot happen on the map.
Yeah, it's just they're willing to go for those low percentage plays that could bring you low percentage plays with a high percentage outcome. So
yeah,
they're just willing to go for that. They're willing to pull the trigger, and sometimes that really just catches a team off guard, that they're willing to fight even outnumbered and just go for the outplay. And that's a factor I see a lot in leagues like the LPL that give them the edge over other teams, because they're willing to just go for broke.
And now, speaking of going for things, we got a dive comp getting dived under themselves by that ulties right there. Now Solar Flare thrown out. That's almost the catch, but Toy will catch one with the dredge line. But here comes devastating charge onslaught of the shadows, zoning and routing one. They got one in the bank. That is the Kaisa still. The Caps factor for OMT has been Indigo so far. And now Hexmas goes over the wall. Surprise attack. Surprise attack. Hexmas is fully online. Dropping that quadra kill earlier made them very confident. They might be going for the ego play here, as they do get shut down instantly. Sleepyhead there with the kill. Lego James, they don't have enough minions yet to end the game. They're going to be happy with just taking an inhibitor turret.
Yeah, that was a great that was a great dive come from Hexmas, making sure to catch the enemy team off guard and just going for it. And these are the kinds of plays, as we said, that keep Akuma just one step ahead of their opponent. Even though Indigo is trying his best, it's hard when you have a Gwen in your face like that. As an ADC, you just won't survive. And there's so many threats, especially for Indigo, who has to go in to be useful, right? Or he has to be the cleanup duty. At least, due to his itemization, his W is doing a lot of damage. We saw how much damage those Seekers are doing, because he is going for a complete AP build. So he's able to stay far enough away from Gwen and Camille. But his team needs to buy him the time, to be able to poke.
Yeah, they just need the space, like you said, right? They just need to give Indigo some space that they are able to shine, because so far they've been putting up a clinic here on the Kai side. Almost 2k gold lead compared to Keyboarder on Zeri. Zeri's not getting a lot of resources, granted, but they're still a threat on the other side, yes. But Indigo, if you give him the space, like you said, Mazda, he's able to do so much. And on top of that, couple that with fire, that's a lot of damage coming on to Akuma. They have to be careful of that.
There's one more threat too, the Ocean Soul. If OMT manage to get it, it'll be very hard for Akuma to be able to fight that.
We got a very close game. Now we see the priorities. Oh, this is going to be Ratchet getting caught out, though. He's going in. Does not going to get anybody with the Solar Flare now, but now goes in with the Zenith Blade. That's really tanky. Leona right there with care package used. Leona's going to go down, as well as the Zeri. That's a double kill from Indigo. Indigo putting up a clinic, like we said. Sensational Reaper. Exceptional maneuvers there by Hexmas. Evaluate and equalize.
He's going in.
Calculated plays with the Yen Quadra. Are you kidding me? Back-to-back Quadra. Give him the Penta. This guy is on fire. Masterful way of destroying the opponent. Hex missed. We talked about the avalanche, and he is definitely owning up to that.
Oh my gosh, Hex is unbelievable. He leaves his team to do most of the work, and once the cooldowns are gone from the enemy team, just goes in and kills everyone. The fact they're able to get the Ocean Soul now means that OMT's chance is starting to slip away as Hexness gets stronger and stronger. He already has 24 stacks on his Medjais.
Yeah.
This guy.
Here's the plan. Here's the plan for OMT. Brainstorm this, Miles David. This is the conversation should go. Oh wait, guys, do we know where Hex Mixed is? Yes, no, yes. Do we know where he is? Let's just go the opposite way.
Yeah.
Let's just go somewhere else for now. Like, yeah, he's mid lane. All right, fine. We'll hang out in the Nexus. We'll hang out in the Nexus. We'll hang out in the Fountain. Maybe we'll go to the top lane, push some waves.
Right,
I
the
don't
man's
know.
at B. Let's go A immediately.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This is exactly what's happening right now. And oh wait a minute, this might get ugly. This might turn violent very quickly, and it will. Toy just gonna get dropped, just like that's first kill for X-Mech. Pentakill possibility for our Gwen here on the side of Akuma.
Just one kill, immediate pentakill possibility. But it's so true though. It's so true.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. Here comes Cannon Barrage. This is a 4v5 we're looking at. Not a lot of CC on their side. They're going to rely on Flyer. And Indigo goes in, does find one. But Hexmech's absolutely going to engage on him. But devastating choke outside of the shadows. Got around it. That's a double kill. Indigo putting up a clinic. Hexmech is going to be able to secure the Baron. No, he is not. Indigo triple kill. He is on fire. Superior mechanics and absolute dynamite on this Kaisa.
Wasn't just mechanics from Indigo. We have to give credit to Sleepyhead too, who managed to keep everyone off while he went into the assassination. That was a clean play coming from OMT to be able to get the Baron and Indigo on this Kaisa. 17, 4, and 6. He is hard carrying this game right now for his team.
He is turbo smurfing, man. Just quick as a bunny, moving in and out, quick on the uptake, like that decision making, split second, deciding to go in with the killer instincts and just deleting whoever that was. I seem to have a short, term memory here, Miles. But somebody got deleted.
One day
somebody got yeah. Well, I don't know. But somebody did definitely get deleted. I don't know who it was because I didn't see them. Ratchet just gets.
Alright, Ratchet got deleted. There we go. He was the one that got deleted at that point.
Yeah. No, that was whoever got deleted right there with the killer instinct. I think it might have been Fluke, if I'm not mistaken. But
it might have been Fluke, yeah.
Yeah, the GOAT James goes all out now. Toy, this is not looking good for Toy, but with the W, he stays alive, which is absolutely good for them. They got 2 picks with no casualties. So Akuma are now on the back foot. They need to be on the defensive.
He got hit. Camille got hit by the... I'm not trapped here with you. You're trapped here with me. Yeah. Just CC'd him to death, and Indigo was able to poke him out. Oh, Indigo's just getting stronger and stronger. He has his Zonias already, so he can make even more risky plays like that. Last time, he made that play without a Zonias. Into the back line with barely any help. There was no one beside him besides Sleepyhead, who managed to get in with his ultimate to keep them off of his ADC. But now, he's able to use his Zonias and buy time for his team. He can delete someone and buy time for his team. I think that's the most important one. Important thing to consider when looking at the team fights from now on.
There's win cons on both sides. This is what absolutely crazy about this game. Like, one big fight, and if Indigo is down, obviously it's going to be GG. But Flyer is the second up to carry. The same thing with Akuma. If Hicks makes a wrong move, Ratchet as well, they're gonna go for this play. They're going in. It's a 2v3, 2v4 happening. Solar Flare, Indigo's gonna get caught out. Hicks has them dialed in. Oh, no. And he's gonna find the kill. This is not looking good for OMT Khaos, and it's very chaotic. And through that chaos, we're gonna get this Gwen. Lore accurate Gwen, by the way, only getting kills. Only getting kills. That's it.
That's heartbreaking for OMT. Are they going to be able to end? The death timers are really long at this stage of the game, but there's no waves really coming in right now. They should be able to at least get the inhibitor, so OMT will still have another chance, but that's really unfortunate. They were able to get on top of Indigo before he could use his Zonias.
Yeah, it was definitely like I was building up to it too. It was funny because I was like, if Indigo dies, then team fight's not looking that good, and Hex Mess was just dialed.
Wait, are they gonna end it?
Dialed in.
They're just gonna end it?
They have a good chance of ending it here.
They can
10
just
seconds on Hex,
like
9 seconds on Flyer. Might get close. It might get the last hurrah we might see. Toy, he does have the ult in just a little bit. Oh, I don't think they're able to sustain anything, and yet they are online, but just a heartbreaking end from ONT, and what a crazy game it was. A roller coaster of a ride for Akuma.
Man, that was so anticlimactic. I can't believe it ended that way.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was just that one team fight. Just one team fight away, man. And we saw that happening. And I think it's probably due to Ratchet. Somebody get him coffee. Somebody get them something from after this game. Because
Ratchet and Smith, it was both of them just going over with the blast plant and just charging it immediately. I'm like,
Mhm.
I wish I could hear their comms. Are they just like, all right, go for it, go, 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 go.
Two quadra kills, by the way. Miles David, 2 quadra kills.
Put that
All
in the
right.
box.
Valente special for Runeterra Academy. Where else are you gonna get that?
Yeah.
Tell me.
No,
So
no
if you're not
pentakills
smashing
because we
that
need
follow
2
button,
couples.
yeah, no pentakills, man.
No one needs
Feels
to get
bad.
left out. All right, so 2
So close for a
quadricles right there.
pentakill.
Yeah, Indigo didn't want to give it to him, but that was such a valiant effort from Indigo. Oh
Yeah.
man, I feel so bad for him because this is the second time where he was like in a state to be able to carry the game. But unfortunately, when they got on top of him, he had all his summoners. He had
Yeah.
Flash. He had his cleanse. He had Zonya's. Wasn't able to press any of them. Just got deleted, and the fight's over from there without Indigo.
Yeah, the fight is over. What a great series to cast. Honestly, guys, it's been my pleasure. And I thought it was going to go to the third game. Honestly, OMTK has done this twice so far, back to back. First game they played against MGM, right? The time they were playing, they looked like they were almost going to win it, but they couldn't close out. And now the same thing, the parallel analogy, or I guess the same example is that this game, Akuma, looked like they were in the driver's seat, but OMTK did the same thing. They kind of let us on. They might be winning, but the Gwen, they left it up, and Hexmas just absolutely destroyed. What a masterful way of playing the Gwen. I mean, if anybody wants to learn Gwen, me included, I'm gonna watch this over and again just to see what they're doing.
It's probably a good idea. Hexsmith even commented in Twitch chat. They left Gwen out. They forgot to triple ban him. All right, man. That's the Sigma male answer right there.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, smash that follow button if you haven't. We are going to be live again with other series this week. It's going to be very exciting. And the theme of the day was Valentine's Day. And I hope you guys are having a good day today. Just remember, before loving anybody else, love yourself. That's the message from me, at least. My name is Proof. You guys could catch me on Twitter at Proofcast. Yep. And Miles David is on the hot seat here. Thank you for joining me today, my friend. And you guys can catch him on Twitter, Miles Dave at 17. Any closing remarks from you, my friend?
Man, so close but no cigar for OMT. That was such a heartbreaking loss for them. They could have pulled it back. Maybe could have even used the momentum to swing into game 3. But it's not over yet. The season is still long incoming. The semester, you still have lots more chances, lots more tests to go through or to get into that playoffs bracket. So OMT, keep your heads up. And congratulations to Akuma for winning this match. This was a real entertaining game too, I have to say. Even though it's a 2-0, definitely wasn't boring in the slightest.
It wasn't boring in the slightest. And that's it. We're off. We'll see you guys next week on Monday, the same time. And bring popcorn. See you guys then. GG's.